Hello, I'm Robert, a voluntary fact checker and helping you if you're scared of many things. And this is the last of all my videos about Discord, and this is just what happens if you're misclassified as an adult on Discord. And for most people, if you go look through, really nothing much happens. Discord itself says that they expect most people most people will not even need to use age verification at all. So first of all, for most people, Discord doesn't even need to use your age because you're never using anything on Discord that needs it to know your age. Or Discord can figure out that you're adult without any age verification because of just the way you've interacted in the past. For the few that are left, most will pass automatic age verification with KID, but it's very secure and privacy preserving, which I already talked about. And then for the few that don't do that, you need to decide if you want to take out a manual ticket or just keep retrying age verification until they fix the bug or you're verified. So the manual ticket is that's the situation where that breach happened in October. That was because they were giving their government ID to a human being, because that's what manual verification means. And then there was some slip up in the way that Discord's partner company, one of the partner companies that didn't do proper vetting of the human beings that were doing the manual checking. So that was the problem. And it's the weakest link is the manual checking because you can't automate it. And things you can automate, you can make sure they just can't even do things that could be leaking any information. But if you if you have a human being in the link, then you've got to make sure that your human beings are very well vetted. And so Discord was using a partner that had a human being doing the manual checking that wasn't well vetted, and there were various other sloppy things about it. I talked about that in a separate video, and Discord has realized that this was a lapse, and it got involved in a forensic firm, and it got involved in businesses that do checking of things like this for companies that run into problems. It got law enforcement involved, it got everything involved, and it's made lots of changes since then. So the risk must now be very low. It hasn't happened since then. You could say, though, that their ticket system might be stressed a bit, especially going to the surge if they're going out to 10 times as many people. So it's reasonable to, it depends really on personal risk management. But if you are very, very careful about, you just want to be ultra careful about handing over your, using the ticket system, then what happens if you just don't want to do that? And so that's what this final video is about. And you happen to be one of the very few that do need the manual checking, and maybe for a while you're just waiting and hoping that it'll fix itself and you have to experience it as a child. So what happens in that situation? Well, the basic points are that Discord, it has age-restricted servers already, channels and posts. So this is not something that's going to happen new with the age gating of the, it already does that for the people in the United Kingdom and the people based in Australia. Then it rolled that out already. And not just for that, also because you enter your age when you join Discord. So, or you enter your birthday, or whatever it is. So if you say you're under 18, then that means you want the under 18 experience as well. So you want everything to be blurred. You're not under 18, you don't want to see all these things that might be quite distressing for a young kid. So well, most of you would anyway. And so anyway, you've given your birth date to them, and you've got these age-gated servers now. And that means that anything that is 18 plus rated, then it's going to be blurred out. The channels are going to be, you can't enter them. And then you've got the age-gated servers. And then if you're adult, then adults also quite often don't want to watch adult pornography or don't want to watch adult extreme violence. So if you're an adult, then you want this age gated as well, so it's blurred out. And then you've got to click to say, I consent to watching this before you actually see it. So this is already in process. There are Discord servers that are devoted to pornography, and most people won't want to see that stuff. So they have to be age gated. So unless you use Discord to access pornography, or you have to click through a warning that the server uses for 18 plus, then you're only, and that's also for video, for instance, video showing someone being killed in real life, and other forms of or gore, or things that show. There's some things that Discord doesn't permit at all in its community rules. But some videos have got extreme violence, but not so violent that they're not permitted at all. And so unless you've had to click through a warning that the server you use is for 18 plus only, then your age is going to make no difference to your experience on Discord, or virtually no difference. So this Discord itself says the majority of Discord users don't access age-restricted content and will never go through a facial age estimation flow or ID verification. And in the minority of cases where you cannot confirm you as an adult and you need to access age-restricted areas and settings, you will be asked to go through additional steps. So, and this is Zokian. His real name is Mark Smith, and he's a VP of Core Tech, including the age-gating things. And he says, I can say confidently that the vast majority of people will never see age verification. And because we launched it in UK and Australia, we have a pretty good idea on this now. We can pre-identify most adults based on what we already know, and not including your messages. And that looks to get us pretty far here. No face scans, no IDs for the vast majority of adults. So most people will either never use these servers anyway, or they're age verified automatically anyway. And then from my previous videos, it's only the very few people that need to take out a ticket for manual verification. That's the only step with any real risk, likely very low. And what happens if you misidentify this under 18? Then if you look at the other effects, then the messages from strangers go into a separate inbox. Well, that's how it happens on X anyway. So that's not hardly much of a restriction. Indeed, I've got to keep checking to look, remembering to check there, because I forget for weeks on end that there's a separate inbox in some of the places where I get messages. The other thing, you're warned before you accept a friend request from a stranger, and you can't speak on stage in servers. So speaking on stage, special thing in Discord, I looked up what it means, is that you can speak to an audience, which is very much like an audience from a stage. They can't talk back to you. So you can have hundreds, thousands of people, they can come and go. You don't get notification when they're coming and going. And there could be lots of people speaking on stage as well. You could have, for instance, a band, and all the people on that band, in that band, are talking or whatever. But you can't do that. You can't speak from stage if you are misidentified as under 18. So if you do any of these things, then that will be affected. If you speak on stage, that's about the only thing here we actually stopped from doing something. The others are just minor nuisances. Now, age gating makes no difference to graphic violence, cruelty to animals, and child sexual abuse material. That's just not permitted at all. Child sexual abuse material, of course, is illegal. And the two categories are explicit mature sex, and they've got a mature sexual media filter, and graphic that may contain violent or potentially disturbing visual material. I think, for instance, the shootings in Minneapolis would probably be blocked by the graphic media filter, the ones where you actually see someone being killed. So, and so they say that servers can host sexually explicit content as long as it doesn't violate our policies. The server owner and moderators all over 18, and any channel where it's hosted is marked with an age-restricted label. And so in many of these servers, it'll just be one channel rather than an entire server. And you can't post this content at all in a space that can't be age restricted. So that's those are all the rules. And then the entire servers can host it. So I'm not sure I've got it there, but if you are a server owner, then you might want to make your entire server age gated, because that means that once you're in the server, you don't need to do all this blurring out of things, and you don't need to mark all your channels because you've got the warning for the entire server. So it's a motivation for the server owner to label it, and then the Discord itself will also automatically label entire servers as being age gated if it detects there's an awful lot of this material on that server. Or suppose you said, this is a server to watch explicit pornography, and that's your description of the server, then Discord would say, well, okay, that's an age gate, we're going to age gate that server. So it's either based on the description of the server or based on the content of it. Now, if it's misclassified as under 18, if it's misclassified as over 18 or over, sorry. Oh, if you are misclassified as under 18, then what happens is that some posts and images in messages are blurred, you can't see some channels, and you can't see age-gated servers. Oh yes, here we are, this is the window I was talking about. Server owners can designate specific channels being 18 plus, and entire servers can now be classified as 18 plus. There's a checkbox there, you can check, say my server is 18 plus. And that's how it looks from the server. And then if your server is improperly classified, you can appeal. And again, putting it from my programming background perspective, well, they already have these filters that are going to decide whether or not it's sexually explicit or it's violent, extreme violence. So that's just very much like on all these platforms. They have to be able to filter it very quickly as soon as it's uploaded. So obviously it's using machine learning, it has to. And then they've got 32.6 million servers and only 1,544 staff. So it's very obvious that they can't go around and look for servers that got lots and lots of explicit material on it manually as human beings. So they would have trained them, and first of all they'd have some basic rules. If a certain percentage of the content is sexually explicit, then you classify it as one that's got this age gated, and then you'd have human beings checking some of them as it goes along, as it do the first few, and then you'd get it to do some more extrapolation from that, and you keep refining it until fewer and fewer are misclassified, and then you set it automatically classifying them all, and you would expect one or two to just be misclassified in the wrong direction, and then that's when it would be appealed. So that's all the background there. So I think I've explained everything here that you need to know. So the summary of the main effect is that if you do kind of go through all that, you get stuck on the age verification somehow, then most users are automatically marked as adult anyway, unless you are a kid, of course, and so none of this is relevant to you, and then most of those who don't pass are auto-verified using a selfie. Many of those verified using a selfie that never leaves your device, using machine learning to estimate your age from the pixels. And the software runs on your device, and it's nothing leaves your device. And then you still don't get a pass. You can upload a photo, and KID will only look at it. It doesn't even record the date of birth. All it records is pass or fail. It can verify you swiftly and then immediately deletes everything. And it never discovers what your username is, never checks your name, your real name. It's got no way of finding out your Discord username. It's kind of siloed from all that. And then using a token that is used to communicate with Discord, then tells Discord that you flagged you as adult or not. And then Discord then attaches that label to your channel. So that's how it works. So it's very, very secure. Automated and highly secure. If you are still misclassified, they give you the advice to take off any sunglasses. Basically, you want your face to be clear and to match the way you look in your photo. And you wouldn't do kind of face painting, as it were, with all sorts of strange things on your face, draw lines all over or something, try and make yourself up to look like a Vulcan or something. Just make sure you look very much like yourself. And then if you are still misclassified, and then if you're still misclassified, you can take out a support ticket, and that is where there is this Discord has fixed a lot of issues, may well never have a breach again, but this is the one place where the risk is very low. And then you can reduce it further, I think, by just postponing until the initial search is over. And then during all that period, if you are misclassified as an adult, if you're not classified as an adult after all that, then that's when you get the main effect is that you're going to get things blurred as if you were a kid, and some things you just can't see at all. But only if they're extreme violence or they're explicit adult sex that is not considered suitable for kids. So that's it. I think it's the last of all my videos, and hopefully you're in a better place now. If you've got any more questions, be sure to say. If necessary, I'll do more videos. If there's anything else I need to cover, and I plan to put all these blog posts and these videos into one long blog post or Substack about all of it. So that's what I'll do next. But for now, I'll just upload these two videos, this recent video, and if you come across this on YouTube, then check the video description and you'll find a link to this blog post that I've been talking through. And I'll put links to all the other things in the video description as well, the other pages I had open here, just so as to match what I've been using for this video presentation. So 19 minutes, not too bad. I think that's not too bad for people to watch that. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful.